Hello all, welcome you to one more session on Tableau where we are going to spend some time to understand the cross-tab charts, which is otherwise called as a text table chart. And this is or a pivot table chart as well. See, this is one of the chart which is most widely used for performing any kind of data visualization. So in this session, what I'm trying to cover is that when exactly someone needs to adopt a crosstab chart, and once adopted, what are the things that they can actually perform to give a better visualization using this crosstab chart. So this is what is going to be the discussion. So now to understand, when exactly I need to use a crosstab, I'm just going to give you a scenario. So the scenario is basically very, very simple. You assume that you're working as a manager for a cafe, and maybe in the coming week, you are having a meeting with the stakeholders of that cafe, and the stakeholders actually wanted to know um, how is the cafe is doing. So they just wanted to understand how is the sales going on regarding their product sales. Like they do sell a lot of products, like if you take a coffee day, they does not serve you only with a variety of coffee, but also they do have different kind of products, right? So similarly, this cafe is also, along with the regular cafe business, they are also running some kind of cafe related products. And this is how this cafe is running basically. And the stakeholders wanted to understand uh, for a specific period of time, maybe the last 6 months or last 3 months, they wanted to understand how does that sales is going on, and also they just wanted to know how much profit that the cafe has made over a period of time. So this is the scenario. I hope you all understood the scenario very clearly. Very simple scenario. And see, you have to basically get yourself ready. So if you are a manager, you have to get yourself ready for this particular presentation to your stakeholders. So when you wanted to present certain things to your stakeholders, what you will be presenting is that this is the kind of questions, like they are basically interested in finding out your sales and the profit over a period of time. Okay, for a particular period of time, they just wanted to understand. So, when you have situations or when you have scenarios like this, the best data visualization chart that you can adopt is basically a crosstab chart. Okay, this is the simplest example that I could give you to make you understand when exactly you need to make use of the crosstab chart. Okay, and mostly it is going to be useful for business needs. Okay, and see, as you know, this crossed-up chart basically will take up one or more measures along with the dimensions. So dimensions and measures is going to be there for your visualization. As you know, dimensions will contain qualitative values like your name, date, location, etc. will be there. And when it comes to measures, it is going to have a quantitative values, which is going to be your numeric values, maybe the profit value or something like that will be there. Okay, so now this is the scenario, and you have decided that cross tab is the best form of visualization that you could do for this particular problem statement. Okay, so now you got to know that when exactly I need to make use of your cross tab. Now the next thing, very important thing, what you need to understand is that how exactly we can create a cross tab. Okay, so what are the things that a cross tab would allow me to do? Okay, so let's try to understand this with a demo basically. So let's get inside our a Tableau's environment. Okay, so now what is the scenario which I gave you? Was that scenario was that a manager of a cafe. So to make this more interesting, we are not just going to take up only the superstore data source. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to take a file which is there in my local computer, and this is basically a coffee file. Okay, so I'm just going to take that, or I'm just going to connect that data. Okay, so once this is connected, if you could see, this is, I'm just going to my data source and then I'm updating it. So you can see here there is a area code, date, market, and profit is there. Profit is in text, it is there. And also if you see budget, sales, everything is there. Okay, so this is the idea about what type of data that you're going to deal with. Okay, now we cannot work anything related to the data source, so we will go to our sheets. So just now, just that I got inside my sheet. So what is the first thing I would try to do whenever I have got inside my sheet is that, obviously first step is that I just need to, uh, from here I can choose my variety of charts which is available. Right now, all of these things would be grayed out because we haven't added the fields, right? So that's the reason it has been given as, it is grayed out. Okay, so the first one which you see on the top is your text tables. This you know very well because we have done that show me a demo, right? So now what we need to do is that first step is obviously you have to drag and drop your dimensions. Okay, and then some certain things that I need to keep it in my columns, and certain things that I need to keep it in my row. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to basically work on with few things. So for my columns, I'm just going to take up this year because that is very important for me, because I just wanted to present a visualization for a period of time, right? So definitely for me, what is essential is that year is essential. Okay, so let's see where is year here. Okay, maybe the date. Okay, yeah, so this is your year. So if you expand this, see here, you can see a quarter, year, I mean, and then month, and day is there. Okay, so this is how this date is being it is there. All right, so you got an idea on the first one, which is your column, and that is important for me because I'm going to deal with a visualization wherein I have to show my visualization for a period of time. So this is done. Now what should I have in my rows is that I will definitely have to have my product type and the product. Okay, so these are two things which is essential for me because I have to show them the sales which has happened for the products, right? So I'm keeping these two things in my rows. So as I have kept my columns and rows, I could see that this population of data is already there, as you can see here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is that I am just going to keep my sales. Okay, sales is something which is important for me, and I am going to keep that under the mark shelf. Okay, so now we have kept it under the mark shelf. So the next thing that what I wanted to do is that maybe I wanted to add some color, kind of colors to the measures that I wanted to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this as color coded. And similarly, I'm just going to drag and drop my sales once again. Okay. Okay. Then I'm going to specify this as a label. Okay. So once you have done that, now what you can see is the values here, and these values are color coded. Okay, so this is what is the type of visualization that I wanted to show to them. Okay, so you can understand that the sales for this particular product is higher compared to this other products, and it is color coded also, which is going to help you to present your data in, I mean, present your results in a proper manner. So this is the simplest kind of visualization that you could do with your um, you know uh, with your cross tab. Okay, so most of the time whatever you're seeing it on the darker shade, right, this is basically saying that it is a higher sale, and whatever you're saying seeing it in the lighter colors, that denotes that it's a lower scale basically. Okay, uh, see, not only this, using this you can also perform some kind of calculations on the measures. Okay, so see here, if you could click on this. Okay, so you can actually come down and you can actually do a table calculation also. So suppose if I wanted to show me the percent of total, okay, so that you can show it here, or otherwise some kind of other calculation that you wanted to show, that is also possible. Okay, so let me just show that. You just wanted to show a rank. Okay, so you can show the rank also. So these kind of operations also could be performed so that your visualization will become more meaningful. Okay, so this is the simplest way I wanted to I wanted all of you to understand the cross tab chart. And most of the times we make use of cross tab chart in Tableau in this manner. This is the scenario, suitable scenario. Of course, anything will come with its own limitation. So one sort of limitation that is associated with cross tab is that, see, by default, what you can have is you can just have 6 rows and columns in Tableau. Okay, so you can actually increase the rows and the columns by there is used to be something in analysis where you can have a table layout. Okay, so we couldn't find this in that online version, so maybe in our desktop version it might be available. So generally we can resize this rows and columns, which is given as 6 to 16. That's the maximum that we can do it. However, 16 is also comparatively lower. Okay, so this is one limitation. And the see, the cross tab is basically a representation of data in a textual form. Okay, so which might be a little bit difficult for I mean, comparatively, if you see it, it is going to be a little bit difficult, because the graphical forms of representation is something which everybody will be understanding it in a better manner. But however, when it comes to business needs, you wanted to have a quantifiable value. That is very important. So you need to have a measurement of values so that you can make some kind of decisions with respect to the business. So even though it is understandability wise little difficult, again comparatively it is difficult. Otherwise, the patterns and the insights that you can get on this type of chart is going to be really really helpful for you. Okay, and uh, most of the times where exactly you will make use of cross tab in Tableau is that whenever you wanted to represent a relationship between two or more dimensions. Okay, that's a simple thing. Okay, and yeah, so that's the small idea that I wanted to give all of you. So back to our presentation, I'll just conclude the session. So I hope you understood what is the meaning of a cross tab or your text table. Okay, see, this is something which is similar to the pivot table of Excel. Okay, so in Excel, if you could have worked it, you can relate this cross table concept to the pivot tables in Excel. So this is actually one of the very basic and popularly used forms of charts in Tableau. Okay, um, of course, like you can enhance your storytelling experience with your data visualization only by doing appropriate color coding and stuffs like that, adding up required calculations. If you do it, then your storytelling with the visualization is going to be really really better. So that's all I have for this session to make you understand cross tabs. In the next session, we will have a discussion on totals and subtotals. Thank you.